Hey, it's Emmy Ray. Welcome back to Brave at Astrology and Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year's Eve, okay? It's not quite the new year yet, but I am so excited. I learned a lot this year about myself and about people around me. And if you're coming with me into 2021, thank you for sticking with me. I love you. If you're leaving, thank you for your experiences. I love you as well. I have a lot of different friends that are on different paths, and I myself is on a different path as well. And I'm so happy for that because again, it's all about moving our soul forward. Okay, and if you came in my life and you left, just know I love you and I wish you the best, and it's going to be amazing. And because I feel it in my gut. Okay, I feel it in my gut. This year is going to be great. If it don't happen for me, it's going to happen for the people around me. Okay, I'm proclaiming it. But anyways, we're going to talk about the moon today. We just had a full moon on the 29th in Cancer, which is always my favorite of the year because that's my moon sign. But hopefully you got to see where that is in your chart. If not, full moon energy usually lasts 5 days before, 5 days after. Was where they're for letting go of things. New moon is for bringing things in. A full moon is for letting things go. So if you haven't yet, go see where that is in your chart and see how that affects that part of your life, and see what can I let go and what kind of energy do I want to bring in. Um, but we're going to talk today about moon through the houses, okay? So, the moon is mother. It's how you want to be nurtured. It's your emotional needs and your unconscious mind, okay? It's the second illuminary. You have the sun and the moon that are the illuminaries in astrology. Um, I would say your moon sign, when it comes to compatibility, is probably more important than your sun sign because your moon sign is how you want to be treated emotionally. Um, and in just everyday life, what you need. Okay, it's what you need. So let's get started. First house moon. Okay, our moon, when it's in the first house, can make you very emotionally impulsive. It's the house of self, okay, and it's also the Aries house. So it can make you extremely self-aware of who you are and what you're feeling all of the time. This is the 0 to 100 placement, okay? If you're feeling something, you will really feel it. And you may actually internalize um, the way that other people come at you. You may internalize that. It's kind of similar to sixth house with, the Virgo, like, well, what did I do wrong? But except it's a little different in the way that, oh, you're coming at me. That's they kind of feel like people are coming at them all the time. So with this first house moon, you really have to, wait till they cool off first, and then come to them and be like, this is my point of view. It's not a personal attack. They need a reminder that it's not a personal attack on them. Okay, that's moon in the first house. Moon in the second house. This is the house of stability and wealth, possessions, values. Okay, so your emotional nature is very much tied to your values and wealth. This might be the placement where you're like, oh, do I have enough money this month? Even though you have like three stashes somewhere, you're constantly worried about your stability. Um, your family values, the ones that you have now and the ones that you're creating, may mean a lot to you. This is the Taurus house. So it's very much uh, a house of, you need to feel emotionally stable within yourself and your relationships with people. Um, this is also a placement where you can make other people feel stable. Remember, the moon is exalted in Taurus. This is the Taurus house. So this is stability in emotions. So that's moon in the second house. Moon in the third house. You may very much be the type of person who wears their heart on their sleeve. You're going to communicate your feelings. Um, Now, this is you may do that through writing or speech, poems or spoken word, but you're going to get your feelings out there, and for them, and they will be known. Okay. Also, this placement can bring a little bit of anxiety because there's that worrywardness too, because Mercury rules the third house. So that is moon in third house. Moon in the fourth house. This is the moon's home, okay? And this is the house of home and the house of mother. So with the moon sitting here, you may feel very comfortable in your environment. You may need an environment, like everyone, of course, needs a comfortable environment, but you absolutely need one to feel emotionally stable. Depending on the certain aspects to the moon, can create, let's say it's sitting in this house, you may have a great relationship with your mother, or maybe not so much. And it doesn't have to be mother, it's really the house of the nurturing parent. But it really just depends on what kind of aspects are hitting the moon here. But this is the house of the early soul. So the moon sitting here, you may be very intuitive. Anytime the moon is sitting in a water house, you're intuitive. Unless there are aspects that are creating a negative reaction there. Let's say Neptune, which is illusions. So you may be intuitive, but also being like picking up on the wrong thing. But that's moon in the fourth house. Moon in fifth house. This is the house of fun, creativity, romance, and children. You may be very devoted to your children. You may feel like your emotional nature may be attached to your fun. Like a lot of these people in this pandemic who have been stuck inside, who have moon in the fifth house, I feel a little sorry for you because you may be the kind of person who you got to go out, and also you may put your emotions inside of your creativity. You may feel a little exposed when you show your creativity because you did put so much emotion into it. So that's moon in fifth house. Moon in sixth house. Moon in sixth house, same with third house, can be a worrywart. This is the house of every day. So your daily routines. So you absolutely have to have a routine in order to be happy, in order to feel emotionally stable. This is the kind of house who's like, don't touch my stuff. I had it the certain way. Don't touch it. Okay. You may feel like just crazy if everything is not in order. You may also be very close to your animals. This is the house of pets. You may work with animals and feel nurtured when they're around. You may also feel like you have to do things for people. It helps you feel emotionally stable to do things for people. Let's say that you had a family member that was sick and you couldn't help them. You may feel, of course, everyone would feel some type of way, but you may really feel devastated that you weren't able to help in some kind of way. This is, again, the Virgo Pisces axis is a healing axis. So sixth house likes to heal in a physical way. 12th house likes to heal in a spiritual way. So when moon is here, you may see, let's say, a doctor who is obsessed with getting things right. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Lost, but Jack would be a moon in sixth house doctor, like doing CPR even though like they're completely gone. Like this is that kind of placement. So that's moon in sixth house. Moon in seventh house. Moon in seventh house, you're very emotionally invested in your relationships. And it's similar to moon in Libra, even though this is the Libra house, they are different. Moon in seventh and moon in Libra are different. So it's similar in that you learn how to be emotionally treated through other people. Like you may not necessarily know what you want, and then you get involved with other people and you're like, oh, that's what it is. And I think most people learn that way, but you have those people who are like, yeah, this is what I want. Not everybody's like that, especially moon and seventh house person. they're getting experiences through their partner, or partners, anyone who comes into their life, and they're emotionally invested in making those situations work. So moon in 7th house, moon in 8th house. Again, this is a water house. This is a very secretive, emotional house. A moon in a house, okay? For the simple fact that they may hide their emotions and like put a block over it until they know for certain that they can trust you. This is one where, again, it can feel very emotionally exposed, and very much whenever you love someone, you love very, very deeply, and their heartbreaks are more intense than other people, because when they love someone, they put every bit of themselves in that. It takes a while, but if they put every bit of themselves and their emotions into that. So whenever they're hurt, they can really feel raw for a long time. So that's moon in 8th house. Moon in 9th house. You may be, I want to tie this in with the part of the 9th house that's spiritual. So you may be emotionally invested in your spirituality. You may feel the need to always be learning. Like your emotional state may be tied into that, in that you feel like, oh, I need this higher learning, this experience of life. It's like, you may be the type to find nurturing through other cultures and experience. Like that kind of person who goes to India to find a guru. You may need that guru for your nurturing experience, okay? And I think that's all I got to say about 9th house moon. 10th house moon. Your career and your reputation is tied in with your emotional nature. So you very much care what people think about you. And you put everything in your career. This is the kind of person who will put their retirement into a new business, okay? It becomes their baby. They nurture it, and they may nurture it for a very long time. Also, just your public image in general. So this is also the house of father. So with moon being here, you may feel like you need approval from your father or the father figure in your life. So that's moon in 10th. Moon in 11th house. You love your friends. You feel very protective and nurturing towards your friends. Also, the collective in general. You're the kind of person, you wake up and you see that somehow, the water was contaminated in another country, and you feel some type of way about that. And you feel like, you know what, let me get on this GoFundMe real fast and just throw something at them. You're the kind of person, you want everyone to be okay. And I think most people do, but this is the kind of person that goes above and beyond for humanity. They're very much tied into, their emotions are very much tied into, okay, what can I do to serve this world and nurture this world in some kind of way? You may also be the kind of person who's like, yeah, let me go plant some trees. You want to move humanity forward in some kind of way, and your emotions are tied to that. 12th house moon. This is my placement. It's a little rough. I've really struggled with this placement. And I know you're like, oh, how can you tell? Because your moon is in Cancer and they're both water. I can tell because a lot of times I don't know how I feel. And it's one of those things, or and that's another reason I got into astrology, is to figure out, why am I like this? Why is it so hard to figure out exactly what I'm feeling? And the thing is, whenever you have planets in the 12th house, they get lost. You're going to think about a very, what's a good example? You're in a very dark cave. And the further you go, it gets darker and darker. But we have luminaries here, like the sun or the moon. They light up that part of your chart. So it can be painful in the sense, like if say it's sun, because sunlight is really lighting something up. But let's say the moon is there. This is lighting up your emotions. So you may be feeling everything all at once and you don't understand what it is exactly that you're feeling. On the flip side of this, a lot of people with moon in the 12th house, we see great writers from here. We see great comedians from here. And it's kind of like that Tears of a Clown placement because they learn from their experiences. They're very emotional, like messed up experiences. For example, of writers, you have J.K. Rowling, J.R.R. Martin. Is that his name? Yeah, J.R.R. Martin, or is it the guy who wrote the Game of Thrones books, and Tolkien too. He has his moon in Pisces, I think, which is 12th house Pisces. And I think that's because of the fantasy aspect and details. Because remember, Virgo, Pisces, Axis, they're both detailed and they're both healing. But one is spiritual and one is physical. So they write in a spiritual way, spiritually detailed, imaginative way. And you also see musicians from this placement, Moon in 12th or Moon in Pisces. What was I going to say? This is a very, I could talk all day long about Moon in 12th because, again, I have this placement. But it's a beautiful placement if you learn how to harness the energy from it. But it's the kind of placement where you're always sitting there like, all right, I have to examine myself. What am I feeling and why am I feeling it? And yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I rambled a lot again, but yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Shoot me a message in my inbox. If you are open to getting a birth chart done or a synastry chart, which is a relationship chart, done, please let me know. I can give you the details on that. And y'all have a happy new year, okay? Bye.